What's up guys, Parker Talks is back. Today we are going to be doing a different type of video today as the month is nearly ending and there's no more movies for me to review, and so I'm going to rank every movie that I reviewed that is fairly new this month from the worst to the best. First off, let me give an honorable mention for a show that was on Netflix. It's called The Social Dilemma. It's only like an hour and a half long, and it's about basically technology and how that affects people. And it's kind of like a both documentary type film and also kind of like there's some acting in it as well. And I really liked it. It makes you think a lot about how much people spend on your phone, how much each of us spend on your phone, and how that can affect you, and how certain stuff like that, like notifications and stuff, can affect you with all that. So it's not really a movie, but I want to give that an honorable mention. So go check that out definitely on Netflix. So coming in at number 6, we have Mulan, the live-action film released this month in 2020. Now, I did really like this film. However, the big factor in this film that puts it at number 6 is that you have to pay $30 for it to watch it on Disney Plus. Now, you could wait till December to have it free, but if you want to watch it early, you have to pay $30, which is even more than if you just go to the movie theaters, say if this was a movie theater movie. Also, it's just hard when you compare it to another film with the original Mulan that I just think is a lot better. You just go back to that film a lot, and when you're watching this film, and you're just like, oh, it's just not the same. That's what's going to happen with like every live action Disney movie you have. It's not that this is a bad film. It's just that it's hard when you have to compare it to a great Disney classic. So that's why it's coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, we have Tenet, which I saw in theaters, and I can definitely credit Christopher Nolan, the director of this film, with just how intricate each part in this film is. The only problem I have with it is that it might be a little too intricate. One that's too intricate for me not to be invested in the storyline, compared to Inception that is very intricate as well, but I really wanted to root for the characters. This one, I just was sitting in the movie theater trying to think through this whole time while I'm supposed to be watching this film knowing what's happening. I'm just trying to think the whole time, and that's not something I really want to do. I do like the concept of this inverse time lapse. I've never seen it before, so that is definitely my favorite part of the film. Just with Tenet, it's just so complex that it's hard to appreciate what you're actually watching, but it is definitely a solid movie. Coming in at number 4, we have The One and Only Ivan, which is on Disney Plus. And this film I saw with some of my family members, also my cousins that are younger than me, which they enjoyed this film as well. It was what I expected it to be in this film, as it is a talking animal movie. I had read the book before, so I was excited to watch this film. The animals, for the most part, are really enjoyable to watch and charismatic and all that. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this film. That's probably why it comes in straight in the middle of my rankings. Nothing bad, nothing stellar, but it's what you expect for The One and Only Ivan. Definitely a solid movie as well. Before I go to my top 3, please comment down below if you saw any movies that were released in the month of September, or if you saw any movies in theaters this month. So next at number 3, I have Enola Holmes, which you can see on Netflix, and this movie definitely surprised me. I knew I was going into this movie with Millie Bobby Brown as the main character, but she just played an incredible role in this film. Probably of all the movies, this was the best character role of all these movies that I'm ranking, but she just does a great job as she's this character. Then she has different asides where she's talking to the audience, and just she's so charismatic and so lively in each scene, and it's just a great it's always a great scene whenever she's in that part of the role in that film. And also just the film itself, I thought was very cool. Different take on like the Holmes, different Sherlock Holmes movies, how Sherlock is portrayed in that, and it's just cool seeing Enola go on all these adventures, and it's definitely a great film to watch if you have time. Coming in at number 2, I have The New Mutants, which I also saw in theaters. This was actually the first film I saw in theaters since the pandemic started, and this was definitely the film of all these movies that I was most excited for, as I knew the most about it kind of, for all of these films. And it was also my first Marvel movie I saw in theater, so that's also a big deal as well. And I was the only one in the theater too for that movie, so that's a big plus. So all that gets it a really high rating. This was, a mutant movie, mutant X-Men movie. It was interesting to see how the X-Men are going to go from beyond, since we've seen Logan and how that all plays out. Now, this takes place before Logan, but, it's just great to see this part just basically take place of all these mutants in this one area and just getting to know all these different characters. And it's a very simple story as well, so it's easy to get and all that as well. And this film, I just liked, it's just putting it into the X-Men plot line and all that. So that's why it's coming in at number 2. But actually coming in at number 1 for my film is The Devil All the Time. And honestly, before I watched this film, I did not know this was going to be number 1. But, I mean, it has great characters to start off with in this movie when you have Tom Holland and Sebastian Stan and Robert Pattinson and Bill Skarsgård. So a lot of great actors in this film. I didn't really know what I was going into this film or really what it was really about. And I don't know. You look at Sean Chandler, which is another YouTuber that I watch, who ranks movies, and he didn't particularly like this film because he didn't know much about like the whole religious side of that. I don't either, but that just made me, I feel like, understand it a little bit better of what people could have gone through during that time, as it does take place a little after World War II, and maybe how different people will perceive different ways of practicing a certain religion and how maybe that can affect different people. So what Sean Chandler talked about of how he didn't feel like he didn't have a certain connection to the film. I felt like I didn't either, but I like that part of it so I can learn about it a little more. And just like the whole plot line for this film, you have like basically 3 different families going on at this time, and they all connect in some way. Now, going into this film, this is a very depressing, very dark film, so make sure you know that before watching this. But really, this film just exceeded my expectations, and I just saw myself trying to root for certain characters and was really passionate about that and really invested in as well in this film. So all of that being said, that's why it comes in at number 1. If you like this type of video, I would recommend watching my movie review videos that I've done. I have a playlist for that you can go check that out, and this should be at the end of each month as I've reviewed all these movies. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.